Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. It's time for post-match reaction to Atalanta 0, Celtic 0 tonight in the Champions League. I'm joined by Alistair and Nathan. How you doing, Alistair?
Good, thanks, mate.
Nathan, how are you?
Alright, mate, how are you?
Aye, good. Well, Alistair, we were really probably not that confident. I think that's an understatement, to be honest, on the preview last night. But I mean, what you said that yesterday that you wanted to go them to go and prove us all wrong, and they done that in spades. To be honest, how good was that as a defensive performance tonight?
Well, as I said, every everything we got everything we didn't get in Dortmund, we got tonight, and fair play to them, and and especially the two centre halves, the team in general, but the two centre halves. My God, I've not seen a performance like that since Wilson and Ambrose in the new camp.
I
To
was
be
actually
honest,
thinking about that like after the game. Like I wasn't around when we played Barcelona in Nou Camp and managed to get a result, but it's performances like that. And, as you said, the Wilson and Ambrose performance against Barca in 2012. But Nathan, Alistair says about the two centre halves. Honestly, Trusty and Scales have had their criticisms. Trusty, I think, unfair. Scales, I think, sometimes unfair and still sometimes it's justified. But the two of them tonight, every ball that came into that box, every header that they had to win, they done it and they done it. There was no error or no mistake. It was calm. It was composed.
You know what it reminds me of, and I know it's not on the same level, right? But you know when Starfelt and Vickers played at Ibrox, and
Aye.
every ball that was coming into that box was just boom away. I actually think it's unfair just to pick out Skills and Trust. I think Valley and Johnson, like Johnson had to mark Zapata. No, sorry, not Zapata.
Lookman.
Is that
Lookman.
Bacosta and Lookman? So, um. Aye, nah, amazing defensive win. Valley as well. Nah, class.
Was Alex Valley for me still a player I'm unsure of, to be honest, because we've seen him play about 5 games. I don't know, but some games I think he is a player, and I think the technical qualities there. I just think he's raw at times. I do
Gonna get
think
that with a 20-year-old.
I know I completely understand that. I'm just going to that is that you're going to get that, but in the second half against Dortmund, obviously at the time, the team. Well, I don't. Maybe Dortmund stopped trying or whatever, but he stood out a bit there. But then came here to Atalanta tonight, and he stood out again. Alistair, we seen one change. Was it one change from the team at the weekend? Adam Mida starting up top. I feel sorry for him because I think he did have a bit of a graveyard shift, as you'd like to call it. It was hard for us to get the ball up to the striker as such, and I think that when they were getting the ball up, that defender defended them pretty well, to be honest. But what did you make of the team and how we set up?
Well, I thought it would go with Kyogo, but in hindsight, I can't. When I thought about it, I can't really think of having a problem with us starting because he gave you the ball. Had we started Kyogo, I think they would have been able to pound right on top of us. So I think it was the right choice, especially because it let us. I thought I thought we actually caused them a few problems in the first half. We couldn't get out the second half or the second quarter of the second half. But at the end of the day, mate, how often we said the ends justify the means. We got a point. Let's be honest. That's what we went for. And if we
Aye.
stole it in the break, fair play. But no, happy days. But I was quite happy with the team when I heard it.
Aye. Well, Nathan got either right, so I'll give him a bit of credit for
Got the
that.
big strong though.
But I thought, opening I thought that we could get at Atalanta. I always kind of thought that anyway with the pace we had. with Maida and Kuhn on the counter attack. I just thought at times maybe the final pass at times, I think when we were getting the ball a bit too panicky. It's like I think sometimes it looked like we'd never seen a football before. But I thought we were always kind of compact. Schmeichel, because I think Pasalic, he was getting a lot of space in the box and we couldn't really pick up the runs. Schmeichel, obviously, we get, and then becomes the bit of luck because in previous years and in previous Champions League games, and I believe this, we don't get luck, we don't get the rub of the green when it comes to decisions or if it comes to offsides or whatever else. But that ball getting on the line and staying out, I said at the time, I thought, right, maybe that's the bit of luck we need because, Nathan, I think in previous years, that's getting over the line and we're 1-0 down.
Yeah. I mean, I think the main thing I pick up for the game defensively tonight is, we actually showed that we're a team. And like obviously we're a team and things like that, don't get me wrong, but I feel like, for years Celtic really haven't had a physical aspect. If you look at the team today, Engels is a big boy, Ida's a big boy, Trusty, Johnson, Scales, big boys in the team that can hold their own against a team like Atalanta who, Europa League winners, to keep them out, especially what they done to Liverpool last year, top goal scorers in the
Should have beat
Serie A.
Arsenal as well.
Should have beat Arsenal. Aye. So no complaints.
We probably created more chances against Arsenal than the clear-cut chances. I mean, if you look at Atalanta over the game, for all the ball they had, they didn't create very much for the percentage of ball that they had. And
Aye.
that's credit to us.
No, as I said, they had a few free headers. Schmeichel makes a really good save. I know it's kind of straight at him, but he adjusts his body so it doesn't go through his legs. So his knee kind of goes on the ball, and then he makes a good save from a cross or a corner again. But apart from that, and then I think there was a chance. Obviously Johnson gets booked in the opening 10 minutes, and then there's a chance near the end of the first half where Johnston makes an absolute brilliant sliding tackle. He's on a yellow card. It's Lookman,
that he's off,
and he missed times that he's off, and it's a penalty kick against a referee who sent 2 players off against Feyenoord. So, it was a really good tackle, and you've avoided that 20 minutes. That was the key. Like Nate, you mentioned, Nathan, the key that we made sure we were cameraing in that 20-minute period. But then you're like, right, 30 minutes, and it's about taking the game at those kind of wee snippets. So you're at 30 minutes, you're at 45, then you get into the second half, you reset. And watching it, it wasn't nice to watch it.
I thought it was brilliant to watch. I loved every
I think it
second
was
of
brilliant, but you're still thinking,
we're not going to hold out here.
Aye,
That's what I was thinking.
But that's what I'll give them even more credit is because to a man, I thought Hatate, was always looking forward. He was always getting Hatate got us out of a really good few situations.
Hatate was really good tonight.
McGregor was incredible.
I thought, to be honest, I think the whole team were brilliant. I thought Kuhn defensively and we've not really seen Nicholas Kuhn as a defensive player, but honestly, it was like what Maida does. He was quick and he was closing everybody down, and that was a good thing. Then you had the 2 centre halves on top, and then it was just, I think overall really good performance. Alistair, obviously this had a lot of criticism, obviously after the Dortmund performance. Obviously we done that post-match action. It was like doomsday, to be honest.
Done by a mile.
But they have answered a lot of questions tonight. How this team can go and get a decent result in Europe, a good against a Europa League winner, who have are the highest scorers in Italy, and we've managed to keep them out with a really good, resolute defensive performance.
Yeah, I mean, I had to laugh at just a personal thing. I had to laugh at all the Italians talking about us wasting time. Are you having a laugh? The Italians make a, that's in their DNA. So it was kind of nice to us being the smart ones for a change. And
Didn't really waste time at all.
I think bits and bobs. I think when it got near the end, and that's what you're wanting. I think that Nathan, that's been with Celtic. I think maybe I know it's the dark arts as you call it, but maybe Celtic had to learn some of that for these games. And I felt at times I was celebrating free kicks. I was honestly
I know,
celebrating
same.
free kicks on the edge of the Atalanta box because I thought, right, just get if we're in a bit of bother, even boot it long. You don't need to always, but it might get back to them, but at least they're in the
how
pitch.
many times did Casper Schmeichel kick the ball out for a shy? Right, doing it their corner flag. I'm like, that'll do. Because
Aye.
then if you go the whole end.
Because
end
then you can try and pin them back in. And I felt we've done that well. We pinned them in a few times, but we were also we're so on it. We all spoke about Nathan about Adam on a look one. Didn't get a sniff.
No.
I think he's
You know,
still in Alistair Johnson's back pocket, to be honest with you.
You know, I think we summed it up for me, and I know I'm skipping a bit ahead here. That the reason that I wanted to start Ida because I knew if it got to the last 30 minutes, we would have brought Kyogo on 60, 70-minute mark. Then Kyogo would worry the defenders in terms of Kyogo's actually going to move in behind you. Ida'll fight you, Kyogo moving behind you.
And
I think
Kyogo had the best chance.
I thought he could have
The
taken a
best
touch.
chance by a mile.
But
The one he tried to lob.
Aye, but Ida, in terms of his defending, I mean, Ida was in our box as well. Like, Ida was, with Kyogo, you don't really get the coming back defending as much. With Ida, he was, in front of you fighting and things like that. So, right call by Rodgers, and honestly, the whole team deserves a Medal of Honor.
Well, I thought Kyogo was tremendous when he came on. I just thought he was doing different to what Ida was doing. I think he was coming back, laying off to the players behind him. I just he had that chip, and I thought if that went in, I think I would have went through the ceiling, to be honest. But it was just from everybody at ALISTER, it was just a phenomenal, gritty performance, and I think it was a performance to say to everybody who criticises after the Dortmund display, and rightly so. I think that no, we've learned, and we did learn the night. We've heard this for years about us learning. That is, we learned the night what we had today. We rode a luck at times, but that's what you need to do, and it's not the nicest to watch.
You're going to have to.
But teams that are Atalanta are a better team than us. That's just a fact. But we've managed to come in there and get a really good point, Alistair, that puts us in a phenomenal position going forward with these two home games.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the two home games because the way the results have went tonight, spoiler alert here, Leipzig cannot go above us, whatever happens. No, because we're 4 points ahead of them. Now, given our games, that is a great position to be in because, let's be honest, and we all know we've looked at the table and see, to be honest, if I told you at the start of the tournament you'll get something Dortmund, but you'll get 4 points out of the other 6, you would have snapped a hand off.
I agree with you. Nathan, as Alistair says there, with 4 points, 4 points out of these 3 games. If you put it in context, they were played, obviously Slovan Bratislava, who, by the way, I don't think are as bad as people are making out to be because Girona only beat them 2-0 at home, by the way. But anyway,
they played 3 games and we've inflicted the heaviest defeat.
And then you obviously go to the last year's Champions League finalists at the Westfalen Stadium. Obviously, that's got to be a tough game. But then you've got the Europa League winners, who are flying high in La Liga, I was going to say, the Serie A. And we've just kind of shut them out. So I think 4 points out of the 9 points with the games that we've got coming up. I think Leipzig will be difficult. I think Leipzig will be difficult. I really do. But I still think at home we could beat anybody or get something off anybody. But it's a
Yeah,
really
well,
good position to be in.
you need to maintain the number one thing in Europe is defence first. Like even at Celtic Park, we need to show the same level. Obviously, you can't be that good defensively every game. That's just not going to happen. But we should still be defending to that or try to that level. And it sums the defensive performance up for me as well. Was Lewis Palmer came on, one of the most laziest players I've ever seen,
And
and
you
was
had
defending.
corner receipt when I seen he was coming on. I'm like, what are we doing here?
I think I text you and I text Nathan. And I was like, no, I was like, what is he doing here? But you know what? Even Lewis Palmer was tracking back.
And I was defending with his life as well. So you know what? I'm so proud of everybody, man. Like, genuinely, I couldn't be more proud of the response for the Aberdeen game. We questioned the character after the Aberdeen games, and they just didn't want it. Well, tonight showed that this is a proper team that we've got.
Alistair, going into the next few games, obviously against Leipzig, the next two kind of home games. I think the atmosphere. I think if we get hammered tonight, I think the atmosphere could have been a bit, flat. But I think people are going to be really looking forward to these games now because we've put ourselves in such a great position.
I'll be honest with you, boys. If we get another 4 points with the next two games, and you're sitting in eight,
I think nine's the best chance. I think the nine's the average. I think so. 8 or 9, I think you're sitting really, really comfortable.
I'm just saying them in blocks, Josh.
Aye.
I'm just saying if you get 4 out of 6 again, you're laughing.
I know you do. I know it put us in a
You are
tremendous
laughing
position.
at that.
I mean,
But the thing is, you need to realise that teams, people, I heard TNT the night saying the average to get into the next round is moving up to 15, 16 points, and I'm like,
that'll be the round of 16. That'll be the round of 16. That's not the top 24.
That's impossible.
No, that'd be the top. That'd be the round of 6. That'd be a top 8 finish.
You mean?
That'd be a top 8 finish. So,
looking too far ahead of the top 8 finishes.
I know. Just try and get to
take it as it comes.
Just put as many points as we can in the board.
I've always said that. Anything as Albi said as well tonight, anything we got tonight was a bonus. We got a bonus point, a well-deserved bonus point. And
it takes a bit of pressure. Oh, sorry. Takes a bit of pressure off the Leipzig game as well. Obviously, you still want to win that, but
that's what I said, Nathan, about the 4 points thing. Because Leipzig I mean, they can't hurt us in many sense because one lose or draw, we're still got to be above them.
I mean, if you're talking about a team that has Simmons and Openda, so I'm pretty.
I don't think you meant hurt is on the pitch.
I know you mean it like that, but we can't get back. We can't, just take our eye off Leipzig.
As I said, we focus on the next game. But I don't think.
The good thing about the Leipzig game is they need to come out, and let's face it, boys, they need to win. Whereas we've got a dangerous margin for error.
But we'll speak about Leipzig come a time because what a decent point. There's no point, man. Man of the match. To be honest, if I'm being honest, I don't know why to pick a man of the match because I just think the whole team from start to finish today, after what happened in the Westfalen Stadium, I think they've answered a lot. They've got a lot of bottle. They've had a lot of bottle to come out and have that performance. Because that could have really dented the confidence. And I think everybody was going in thinking, right, let's just try and keep the score down here. But we've managed to get a result. If I was to probably give it, I'd probably give it to Trusty. I thought he's had a lot of criticism. He's had a lot of criticism, and I just think it was strong. It was just physical, and so was Scales as well. But I think there was a point in the second half where Trusty just bulldozed into one of the
road,
players,
a
and
road,
Hmm.
yeah,
it was like, "Aye, out my road," and they were tussling for about 10, 15 seconds, but then Trusty just comes out with it, and you're like, that's what you're wanting. You don't need, like, I know we kind of lie in terms of technicality on like the European stage, but see if you can have a lot of will and that'll get you so far. That'll get you so far as a team, and it done that tonight. Nathan, what about you? Who would you go for? Man of the
Brendan.
match?
Because if you look at what Brendan said, we were all lambasting him about what he said after the Borussia Dortmund game. We're not going to change. We're not going to change. Well, I mean, it takes a lot of courage for a manager like Brendan, who's so, focused in the way he wants to play to, realise that, okay, we need to do it. And he done it. So all
To be
credit
honest,
goes to Brendan
I'm going to stick up
and the
for
players.
Rodgers a bit here, but I think that is how Rodgers wanted to play against Dortmund. I believe that. I just think the game got away from them so quickly.
Unlucky decisions.
And it was hard for them to it was hard for the team to react. Alistair, what about you for man of the match? Who would you go for?
Well, you stole mine, so I'll probably go. It would have
Or
been
Scales.
Trusty, but I'm going to get to Scales for that
Aye.
tackle alone right at the end, because if he doesn't get that timing right, they're 1-1, and then God knows what happens after that.
Aye, no, but
He
And
had
it's,
one when the ball got
but,
cut across goal and he
aye,
was
no, he
there.
did. I stopped it on the line pretty much, man.
Uh,
Aye, no, but I think the whole team were really good tonight. They just they fought.
special mention for Luke McGowan. I thought that was a good sub.
Aye, it was good to see him coming on. I think we need to start seeing him maybe start games as well. I think now. But aye,
I agree.
I'm really
Johnson's all right.
honest buzzing with the performance. I think they've proved a lot of people wrong. And as I said, with Brendan, anybody doubting him, shut up.
You've been barraged.
But aye, I think was a really good performance, and obviously we need to just kind of move on now to Motherwell at the weekend because I dropped points there. But that's going to be it for post-match reaction to Atalanta 0, Celtic 0 tonight in the Champions League. We're back later on in a week for build-up to Motherwell at Ford Park. Until then, speeches later, and hail hail.